one single month what the average man struggles 12 months to scrape together sounds impossible, then you are exactly the man who needs to listen. For what is impossible to the drifter is inevitable to the man who knows and applies law. Think of the average man. He rises early, he works late, he grinds himself down, and at the end of a year he holds a handful of wages barely enough to cover his debts. He thinks he is paid for his labor, but he is only paid for his ignorance. He trades hours for coins because he does not know that riches bow only to definiteness, imagination, persistence, and the organized application of thought. He spends a lifetime gathering crumbs when he might have claimed the bakery. Now picture yourself different. Imagine that in 30 days you could gather a harvest so abundant that others, seeing it, whisper in disbelief. Imagine checks that arrive faster than you can deposit them. Imagine opportunities that multiply upon your desk as though drawn by invisible force. Imagine your family's astonishment when the bills are no longer a weight, but a memory. 1 month, 30 days, can change everything if you will obey. But here is the warning. Miss this, and you will waste not only a month, but perhaps your entire life. For nature does not pity those who drift. She punishes them with delay, with scarcity, with struggle. She rewards only those who think, plan, and act in harmony with law. 1 month is all that is required, but it must be 1 month of burning desire, definite aim, accurate thought, and relentless persistence. Ask yourself, why does one man gather in a week what another cannot in a year? Why does one man leap into opportunity while another waits on luck that never comes? Why does money fly toward one name and flee from another? The answer is not chance. The answer is not education. The answer is law. And when you understand and obey it, time itself bends in your favor. Do you not see? Every fortune that has ever been built was first compressed into a short span of intense focus. Carnegie turned steel into millions because he dared to act where others delayed. Edison turned ideas into inventions because he worked with definiteness where others doubted. Ford built an empire because he refused to listen to critics who called him mad. None of them drifted. They concentrated, they applied, and the world bent to their will. Now I turn to you. What will the next 30 days be for you? Another month wasted, another page torn from the calendar, another promise whispered to yourself and broken? Or the month where you prove to yourself, to your family, and to your enemies that you will no longer crawl with the masses, but rise with the few who command wealth? In the next few moments, I will show you how. I will not offer dreams. And when you know this law, you will never again excuse poverty, because you will know that in 30 days you can do what others fail to do in 365. So listen as though your future were watching you, because it is. Obey what you hear, and the month ahead will be the dividing line between the man you were and the man you will become. 1 month is all you have, and 1 month is all you need. I have said before, and I will say again, wealth has little to do with years and everything to do with intensity. The majority labor through 12 dull months and gather a handful of wages. The few compress those same hours into 1 burning month and gather a fortune. Time is democratic, thought is not. Every man owns 24 hours. What he places inside them decides his rank among men. The secret lies in this. When thought is definite, time bends. A vague mind scatters its power across 1,000 trifles. A definite mind directs all force through one narrow opening until it strikes like lightning. The average man wastes a lifetime wondering, hesitating, and doubting. The successful man condenses all wondering into a single hour of decision and spends the remaining hours executing that decision with unbroken faith. You may believe that success requires years, but that illusion is the first chain you must shatter. It is not the calendar that creates wealth, but the condensation of energy. You can live a whole year drifting, or you can live 1 month awake. A man who burns with purpose for 30 days will leave behind those who slept through 12 dull months of routine. The world crowns intensity, not longevity. Consider Henry Ford. Corporations with endless funds tried for decades to make the automobile practical. Ford, with almost nothing but a dream and an iron will, did in months what they could not in years. He held a single thought so vividly that the universe itself seemed to yield before it. His mind operated at white heat, and white heat melts resistance. He turned weeks into epochs because his thought never cooled. I often compare this power to sunlight. The scattered rays of the sun warm a room, but pass those rays through a lens and they ignite fire. So it is with the human mind. The average man lets his attention scatter upon gossip, complaint, and fear. The disciplined thinker focuses his mental energy through the lens of purpose until it burns a hole through every obstacle. The law is exact. Nature gives more power to the concentrated than to the distracted. Every man is given the same measure of time each day, yet their results differ as night from day. Why? Because riches respond not to hours served, but to definiteness of purpose. The world does not pay for time, it pays for value. 1 hour of clear thought is worth more than 50 of confused motion. To earn in 1 month what others earn in a year, you must first understand that time is elastic to the strength of your aim. Andrew Carnegie once told me that his empire was not built by adding years, but by subtracting waste. He eliminated every hour that did not serve his chief purpose. He refused every meeting, every friendship, every pursuit that did not point directly toward his goal. He condensed his life into a single channel, and wealth flowed through it as water through a pipe. You too must cut away the unnecessary until only purpose remains. The ordinary man measures life by the clock. The wise man measures it by accomplishment. A single decision made and acted upon compresses years into moments. Carnegie once said, "The man who cannot decide quickly will never know riches." He knew that each decision releases energy that hesitation imprisons. The indecisive drown in possibilities. The definite swim straight to the shore. You must therefore begin this month with one act that sets the rhythm for all others. Write your definite financial aim. Reduce it to a figure. State exactly how and when you will earn it. Then sign your name beneath it as though it were a sacred contract with destiny. That paper will become your compass for 30 days. Guard it as a soldier guards his orders. Read it aloud morning and night until it becomes as real as your reflection. Think not that 30 days is too short. Time expands for the man who uses it wisely. One idea held with passion for a month can rewrite an entire life. But you must give yourself wholly to it, body, mind, and spirit. Let no hour go idle. Each morning, plan your work as though failure were impossible. Each night, account for your actions as a banker accounts for gold. What you track, you multiply. Beware of those who laugh at the thought of swift success. They have mistaken delay for virtue. They will tell you, be patient. Wealth takes time. What they mean is, I am afraid to move. Patience without action is decay. Growth loves momentum. The tree that grows fastest does so because its roots drink deeply and constantly, not because it sits admiring the soil. You must be as that tree, constantly feeding your purpose. When you work with compressed intensity, the world itself accelerates around you. People who once ignored you will feel compelled to assist. Doors will open unasked. You will appear lucky, but luck is simply the law responding to urgency. Nature despises stagnation. When you move decisively, she sends wind to your sails. Remember always, to earn in 1 month what others earn in a year, you must think and act with a degree of faith and focus others consider impossible. The masses scatter their attention among 10 half-finished pursuits. The few pour every drop of energy into one finished masterpiece. The difference is not talent, but concentration. Desire, when scattered, warms nothing. Desire, when focused, ignites fortunes. You will be tempted to measure progress by hours. Resist it. The day is long only when purpose is absent. When your aim burns brightly, 12 hours will pass like 2. And in that compression lies the secret of success. Great men have always lived as if tomorrow were the final test of their worth. You must now live that way for 30 days. Let me offer you this exercise of compression. Choose the single financial goal you wish to achieve within the month. An amount, a contract, a creation, a sale. Fix your mind upon it. Remove every lesser concern. If a thought, a meeting, or a person does not move you toward that end, cast it aside. Do not apologize for your focus. Those who drift will call you severe. Let them drift. You are building a new destiny, and destiny requires solitude of purpose. Each morning, review your plan aloud. This is my definite chief aim. I will accomplish it before this month ends. I will think of it, speak of it, act upon it, and live within it until it is complete. Write it on a card, carry it, read it until your subconscious accepts it as truth. When the mind believes, the universe obeys. You may find at first that resistance increases. The body tires, friends doubt, distractions multiply. This is the test of compression. The universe asks, do you mean what you say? Prove it by persistence. When you feel most strained, press harder. That is the moment when invisible doors begin to unlock. I recall Edison once telling me that he worked not by the clock, but by inspiration. And inspiration followed him because he never stopped. He said, there is no time in the laboratory. There is only the next experiment. So it must be with you. Forget the calendar. Measure by results. Let each day produce something tangible. A letter sent, a sale made, an idea applied. Each visible act builds momentum until results appear in rapid succession. Do not confuse busyness with work. The average man fills his hours with motion and calls it labor. The successful man fills his hours with progress and calls it victory. One directed act accomplishes more than 50 random ones. Ask yourself constantly, does this serve my definite aim? If the answer is no, cease it at once. Every wasted minute is stolen wealth. In these 30 days, you will discover a strange paradox. As you compress your efforts, life expands. You will sense energy rising, thoughts quickening, confidence strengthening. Others will wonder what has changed. You will know. You have learned to command time rather than be commanded by it. You will look upon the clock and smile, for it has become your servant. Repeat after me. I do not measure life by hours, but by results. I condense time through definiteness. 30 days of burning purpose will purchase what years of drift could not. Say it until every word burns its truth into your soul. You will feel your pace quicken, your focus sharpen, your world respond. That is the power of compression at work. And when, at the close of this month, you hold in your hands the result of concentrated living, money multiplied, opportunity expanded, respect earned, you will understand what I mean when I say that time obeys the definite man. You will never again waste a year waiting for fortune, because you will know how to create fortune in a single month. Now fix your purpose. The hour is passing, and time, though it bends to faith, respects only those who move. Begin today, this moment. For every man is given the same clock, but only the wise compress eternity into the present. Let this month be your proof. Move, and the law will move with you. There is a force in this world more powerful than all armies, more binding than all laws, more creative than all genius combined. And that force is burning desire. Every fortune, invention, or triumph began as a desire so intense that it refused to accept defeat. Desire is the mother of faith, the father of action, and the ancestor of every victory the world has ever known. Without it, no man commands wealth. With it, he commands the universe itself. The average man wants money, but wanting is a beggar's language. The world does not pay for wishes, it pays for will. There lies the distinction between those who hope for fortune and those who summon it. The one says, I wish I could. The other says, I will and I must. Desire, when heated to the white flame of determination, bends events to its will. It is not magic, it is law. Desire must be more than a wish, it must be an obsession. I have studied men who built empires and those who wasted decades, and I found that all wealth is rooted in obsession with a single purpose. The drifter desires many things, but the man of purpose desires one thing only and gives his life to it. He eats it, dreams it, breathes it until it consumes him, and then the world bows. Look to R.U. Darby and the parable of 3 feet from gold. He had desire, but not burning desire. He might, not conviction. When difficulty appeared, his fire cooled, and fortune passed to another who possessed greater heat of soul. The difference between defeat and triumph was not luck, but temperature. The man who burns hotter melts obstacles. The one who cools fails inches from victory. Now contrast this with the story of Edwin C. Barnes. He desired to become Edison's business partner, not his employee, but his partner. When that desire was born, he had no money, no credentials, not even acquaintance with Edison. Yet he possessed the one thing that could not be refused, a consuming determination. He traveled to Edison's office, declared his intention, and took whatever task he was offered. His burning desire compressed years into weeks until one day Edison himself said, "Barnes is my partner." The world calls this coincidence. I call it the obedience of nature to burning desire. Desire is not selfish. When directed towards service, it is divine. The man who desires merely to hoard money will find it mocking him. The man who desires to create, to improve, to render value so immense that wealth must follow, finds fortune at his feet. The universe rewards only those desires that advance life. When you burn to enrich others, life itself enriches you. The majority think desire and greed are twins, but they are enemies. Greed destroys, desire creates. Greed hoards, desire multiplies. The great builders, Carnegie, Ford, Rockefeller, did not dream of wealth for its glitter, but for what it could accomplish. Their desires lifted cities, forged industries, and employed millions. The selfish wish dies alone. The constructive desire endures through generations. Now let me lead you through a discipline that will awaken desire within you. Sit alone where you cannot be disturbed. Write the one financial aim that would transform your life in the next 30 days. State it in precise figures. Then beneath it, write the reason you must have it. Not I wish, but I will. Then read it aloud morning and night. Each time, feel it more deeply, as if it already existed. You are engraving it upon your subconscious mind, where law itself is written. Say aloud, my desire is fire, it will not cool. I demand riches of life, and life obeys. My aim burns through every doubt. I will not wish. I will speak it until every cell of your body vibrates with certainty. When the desire has truly taken hold, you will feel it physically. Your pulse quickens. Your mind sharpens. Your whole being moves as one.